Are we sick and tired of still not striking our irons good? We all know we can strike the odd one good, right? But getting that consistency is the route to enjoying our golf more and getting our handicap down. And if we're perfectly honest, as long as we beat our mates and as long as we get our handicap down, we're happy, right? How often do you play with your mates and there's that person in that group, oh God, they strike their irons nicely. Let's get to you, yes you watching it right now, to be that person. These are the 3 must-dos you've got to do with your irons. Let's get into number 1. We're firstly going to discuss ball position. So I'm going to grab my 4 iron, my 7 iron, and my pitching wedge. And you know what, actually, I've got something to address. So many people have been going, why are you using those irons? Ricky Fowler can't even use them. Well, I don't really compete in terms of like trying to play for money, right? I'm here to provide instruction and also play some fun with my mates. So I've got these purely because they look absolutely unbelievable. Okay, so let's discuss ball position. Now, let's go with the concept, the longer the club, the more this ball position moves into our left heel, okay? So we're going to really see here. So if I grab my pitching wedge, it being a shorter club, would naturally sit a little bit sort of more in the middle of my stance. If then we grabbed my 7 iron, which would be a little bit longer and therefore the ball being a little bit further away, so neither hitting later in our arc to give us a better chance of squaring the face. And then finally, 4 iron. This is where we would roughly see our ball position start from. So I use a simple technique. If I know where these 3 ball positions are, I can fill in the gaps. So really, you've only got to know 3 ball positions to get 5 or 6 irons correct. So if you come down the line perspective here, you can really see, because the club is longer, it gives me more time to square the face as it gets further forward in my arc. So that's really important, because if I've got an iron in my hand, I need it far enough back to hit down, but I don't want it too far back where I hit too far down with a very non-lofted club. Okay, so we're going to split that gap in the middle right here, and we're just going to grab 7 iron. So the importance of ball position relative to the club that you've got is to allow you to strike down on that golf ball, okay? Let's take a common scenario. If that ball was so far up in our stance and it was teed up, it would be more likely to be hit on the up. That's how I put it there with driver. If we put it really far back, we would hit that tiger stinger. So for our stock shot, we want to make sure that our ball position is in the correct space. So nice and simple, we're going to start off with everything on our buttons and move it half a ball forward as you go through the set. So half a ball forward for 9 from pitch, half a ball forward to 8, another half a ball forward to 7, 6, and so on. Let's try this one away. It's not going to reach a 7-9 this one. This is a terribly tough yardage. I just use my rangefinder there and my watch to tell me 201 to the middle. What are you hitting there? What are you hitting? I'm going to have to hit 4 iron because I've only brought a half set away with me on holiday. So yeah. Let's strike this one away and we'll move on to point number 2, and I think that point is a great one for us to start on. And if you're ever at the driving range, I can't recommend doing this enough, or if you're playing on your own, doing this enough, placing this sort of cross section down to make sure you get ball position right. Easy, first thing you can control, get it right. Okay, so here we go, nice strike away. So much easier to strike down on that. And really interestingly, if we get a bit of a close-up here, if you come down with me, have a look at this. So where my ball position was, ball, strike forwards. So really a great example of how we're going to hit down on this golf ball. Let's now jump into point number 2. Let's go for this now. The butter knife is out. Okay, it's going to take a real good one. I have actually noticed something. I've been using these irons only when playing with my mates and my dad, and if you don't middle it, it doesn't go very far at all. My previous irons, if you didn't quite get the middle, it was pretty forgiving, so it was actually okay. Now, what irons are you thinking of gaming? Because we're sort of coming towards the end of this season. What irons are you thinking of gaming next year? Dream irons down below. If you could choose any one set and money wasn't an object, what would that be? I don't think I'd change. But what would they be for you? Some great irons out there. Okay, so the next point, I think if you go to the face-on perspective with me, this is the best place we can stay with this, because this is all about weight shift. We have to get weight shift right. So I want you to think about, where do we finish in the golf swing? Okay, think of these scenarios, and I want you to just think about this. Don't have to own up to anything here, everybody. So are we, with an iron in our hand, finishing like this sometimes? Do we finish like this sometimes? Two scenarios we've got to get out of. I want you to think about this really nice and simply of, where do I finish? And there's 2 points to this finishing position that really help us get a more downwards hit. And that's what we're all about with an iron, a more downwards hit, because a lot of golfers really do struggle with that. Okay, so I want you to think about this. I want us to think about, where do we finish? So I want you to feel like you're posted over this left hand side, and your chest and your hips are all over your left heel. So look where my weight's gone. I'm not back here, I'm not too far forward, I'm nice and bit of extension, so a little bit more distance between my sternum and my belt buckle, but I'm finishing nicely on my left side. I'm balanced. So just make some practice swings, and my trick for doing this is do it really slow and silky. So slow and silky to begin with. Back, pose, look where my weight is. So ball position and weight, 2 key points to getting a downwards hit. Really nice and silky. And watch this on slow-mo. You can just really see how I'm back, 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 finished and balanced. Because it'll force you just to take a little bit of speed out of your swing. So a nice simple key. Can we finish balanced? Everything over our left heel to give us the best chance of finishing on our left side and getting that weight transfer through the golf ball. Okay, nice simple feeling, nice simple key. Apply that into ball position. We've got 2 cracking points so far. Right, we need a shot tracer here, because 4 iron time. We are dancing. Oh, when you do strike a long iron nice, there's nothing better, is there? Okay, there's one point we haven't mentioned in this video right now, and that's hands ahead of the golf ball. Now, for me, it's a little bit of a touchy subject, this, because so many golfers hands ahead, open face, and get very, very rigid. So I've got a real nice trick for you. It's going to need 3 T-pegs. So we're going to just take a step back. I'm going to put these 3 T-pegs just in the ground like this, and you're going to be able to see a close-up of this as well, just how I'm putting these T-pegs in the ground. And essentially, they're just wide enough to capture my whole iron. Real nice and simple way of doing this drill. Feeling with our wrists, and that feeling is this, okay? We want that feeling of this. So what I want you to do in just 5 practice swings before we get some balls away, I want you to think of this as something that you do in a practice swing as opposed to trying to do it on the golf course, because on the golf course we want to be in that scenario where the shot is dictating our swing. We're not stood here trying to be perfect in our technique. It doesn't work. I know you've tried so many rounds doing that. Stop it, because it's not going to work anymore. Okay, so 3 T-pegs down. Your objective is to strike the T-pegs, but always keep the club behind your hands. Okay, so you're going to see a slow-mo of me doing this right now, and you can really see how my hands are ahead the whole way. Such an exaggerated drill. But look at me now. For so many golfers, we're so used to striking it like this, club head ahead of hands. So it's really important that we exaggerate doing that drill like this and put a bit of speed in our divot. Really that feeling of turn, hands ahead. It's aggressive, it's exaggerated, but it's exactly what we need. We have the element of, as opposed to, we're going to take loft off, apply that into correct ball position, apply that into transferring our weight. They're the 3 factors that are really going to help us control our ball flight with any iron. And I say with any iron because a lot of golfers think this is all different. It's not. We have the correct ball position, we transfer our weight, we get our hands ahead. It's easy. It's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's easier for you, alright? So it's now time to hit this one away, but if you are enjoying this video so far, please do not forget to hit that big red subscribe button and that thumbs up button too. It helps me, helps the channel grow, and we get to go and show you some amazing holes like this. This is iconic, this hole. Portuguese, actually, can anybody tell me? I nearly gave it away. Well, you know where I am, but what hole is this? And this is crazy. This is a par 5 if you come and play here, but when they played the event, which I want you to name, they played this as a par 4, which is actually crazy. Okay, time to hit this one away. I want you to think about this really nice and simply now. You literally have a 101 guide to striking your irons better. Perfect ball position, transferring your weight, and a feeling to get those hands ahead of the golf ball. It's simple, it's easy, and I know you can take it to the course. So I've got my ball position, I'm going to picture where I finish my weight, and that feeling of into the tee pegs, striking down and through. Let's hit this one away. There we go. It's now time for me to repair these divots. I find it weird, you have to put sand in them over here. We don't actually put divots back. But anyway, now time for me to replace them. I hope you enjoyed today's video. 3 keys to striking your irons.